Hope you're all well. Another grey day in the UK to match the storm grey McLaren. In this video, as promised, I wanted to dive into left foot braking, what it's all about, and why on earth you need to do it. So in order to demonstrate that, we're going to have to go for a little drive. So let's go. Should have the pedal cam on the go so you can see what's happening below. And of course the other advantage here is you don't have to see my face. Okay, so left foot braking. Why on earth would you bother? Well, let's discuss. So I'm sure you've all been taught to drive using your right foot as the accelerator and the braker. So as you can see, as I'm driving now, I'm using my right foot to accelerate and also to brake, and that leaves your left foot free for the clutch, or if you're in an automatic, to kind of just sit on the ledge there. Now that's all absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with driving like this, and to get down the shops it makes perfect sense. It's what we're familiar with, and a lot of cars these days have very nice wide brake pedals that you can use to brake with, so you know, huge things that are nice and sensitive and you're not going to miss them. Now if we are on a racetrack and we're in an F1 car, and I have to say I'm nowhere near that level, just to be absolutely completely clear, you are going to be wanting to minimize the delay between moving your right foot over from the accelerator to the brake. Doing so takes time. At that time, the car is neither accelerating or decelerating. Right now, it's coasting. And in an F1 car and going around a track, that isn't ideal, because ultimately, that's when people are going to be flying past you. In an F1 car, you want to be accelerating or braking or holding the throttle. You're never going to want to be coasting. Same in any other race situation going around a track. This floating from one pedal to the other is going to cause a delay. It's, you know, milliseconds are important when getting around a track because they can cost places. So you want to minimize that as much as possible. So how do you go about doing that? Well, there's a solution, and that solution is to use your left foot. So let's swap now to the left foot for braking. By doing so, we have absolutely minimized the flip from the accelerator to the brake, because we can keep our left foot on the brake and flip over between the two instantaneously. So that is why you would look to left foot brake. Now on this car, the 570S, left foot braking is ideal. The pedals are right in the middle, so it makes left foot braking absolutely perfect and very easy to do. One of the other things that you have to look out for if you want to brake with your left foot is riding the brake. You want to ensure that you're not constantly depressing the brake ever so slightly, because that's going to prematurely wear out your pads and really kind of apply excess heat to the brakes that you kind of don't want to do. Appreciate in some race situations it makes sense to keep the brakes warm, but probably not when you're going down the road. So left foot braking is something that you need to bear in mind. Now in this car, the pedals are very nice because they're very narrow. The narrow pedals allow you to do this very easily. In fact, I find that left foot braking in this car is actually better and easier. Why? Because the accelerator, to me, sits slightly proud of where the brake is. So if you're braking with your right foot, you have to come across and then down. And I find I tend to even catch the accelerator sometimes, which is not ideal if you are in a braking situation. So let's have a look at how this works. Back onto the left foot, stick it into active mode, and we are now braking with our left foot. And we've always got our left foot right where it matters, right where the brake is, so we can come onto the brake very quickly. roads are nice and slippy today, but still quite a lot of fun. So always having your foot over the brake, to me, is a complete win situation. Now, the other thing to note when you're able to left foot brake is that you can use the left foot to brake with whenever you want to get some more weight onto the front tyre. So if you're in an understeer situation, you can actually apply the front brake as you're going round a bend ever so slightly with your foot still on the accelerator, just to get the weight transfer over to the front of the car. So for me, that's ideal too. So what do you do if you want to learn to left foot brake? Well, my recommendation would be not to learn on the roads. Get yourself down a nice car park and get used to the feel of your left foot on the brake. This is something that's very important, because when you first try and do this, if you've been used to operating a clutch with your left foot, I can pretty much guarantee that your left foot is going to be using that brake, applying pressure to that brake very hard indeed. So much so that you might actually go through the windscreen, and somebody who's behind you could quite easily hit you from behind. So get used to how your left foot feels on the brake and really spend a lot of time learning it. You're probably going to be spending, I don't know, a good week, 2 weeks getting that true feel so that it becomes autopilot. The other thing to note as well is the learning process. I found that when I was learning to brake with my left foot, it was very much a case of if I was in an emergency situation, I would still be using my right foot to brake. So I'd be coming across with my right foot to apply the brake in an emergency situation. It's only now that I have sort of developed the knack of this and the autopilot method of driving that I can quite comfortably emergency stop with my left foot as well, should I need to. So it really is your choice as to whether or not you want to do it. Some cars, a lot of race cars, are ideally suited to this because of the pedal position. So that is something to know. This car is especially suited to that. So again, something to note here. But it's quite good fun to be able to do it. Another little great thing to do when you're driving about. Appreciate most of the time it's suited to the racetrack. There's nothing illegal about braking with your left foot in the UK. You're in complete control of the car, and you could argue you're in better control of the car because you've always got one foot ready to brake and you're not going to panic about which pedal you're hitting. But do spend time getting used to it, as much time as you can getting used to it off the road as possible, because you don't want to put yourself in a risky situation, and the roads are incredibly slippy today, as you can see. So always good to have that ability. So it's great fun to do. It's another little feather in your cap when you're driving, and for me, yeah, it's a kind of a win-win really. So anyway, I think that wraps it up. That's given a nice overview of left foot braking, what it's all about, why you need to do it. So if you fancy, go and teach yourself, go and learn it, provided your car's set up to do so. I have noticed some cars, the pedals are just far too far over to the right to do it, so it's actually uncomfortable to use your left foot on the brake at all. Some of the older cars with their brake pedal set far too far over, just not ideal. So yeah, just make sure the car is right. Okay, hope that cleared it up or helped a little bit. Do let me know if you liked it. Feel free to subscribe, always very much appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, bye bye.